Imagine for a second that you were just handed the keys to the most valuable company in the entire world. You wouldn't just ignore the daily operations until the building literally caught on fire, right? No way. You'd track its metrics, you'd optimize its performance, and you'd aggressively secure its future. Well, today, we are taking that exact corporate mindset and applying it to the single most important asset you will ever own, your body. Welcome to this explainer titled The Business of You, Becoming Your Health CEO. It's a bit of a wake-up call, honestly. Are you outsourcing your most valuable asset? We rely so heavily on the traditional medical system. But Dr. Darshan Shah, a world-renowned surgeon and the founder of Next Health, realized something huge after 15 years in medicine. Western healthcare is incredibly reactive. It's fundamentally designed to treat diseases with pills and surgeries only after things have gone completely wrong. But a true health CEO, they don't wait for a crisis to happen. They take control early.
Okay, let's dive into this because the idea of completely overhauling your health sounds exhausting, right? That is exactly why we lean on the Pareto principle as a practical guide to your health habits. We're talking about the famous 80-20 rule. Listen, you absolutely do not need to perfectly execute 100 different microscopic biohacks. You just need to focus on the 20% of small, high-yield actions that deliver 80% of your optimal health results. We are aiming for practical, efficient, high-impact habits that easily fit right into a busy life.
So here is today's strategic health briefing. We're going to unpack the necessary paradigm shift, dive into an 80-20 nutrition strategy, learn how to master your glucose curve, look at movement and muscle mass, and finally, build your vital health dashboard. Let's get to work. To kick this off, agenda item number 1, the paradigm shift. Consider the stark contrast in how we usually treat our bodies. Reactive Western medicine literally waits for a disease to manifest so a doctor can prescribe a pill. But the proactive health CEO, they track vital numbers to prevent the illness from ever forming in the first place. Dr. Shah himself was a highly successful surgeon, but he found himself 40 pounds overweight, pre-diabetic, and on multiple medications. And when he sought help, doctors just kept prescribing more pills without ever asking about his sleep, his stress, or his nutrition. Shifting your mindset from being a passive patient to an active, proactive health CEO is absolutely the ultimate efficiency hack. With that mindset firmly in place, let's look at agenda item 2, the 80-20 nutrition strategy. I know nutrition can feel incredibly overwhelming with all the conflicting advice out there, but the ultimate swap is wonderfully simple. Just eliminate ultra-processed foods and replace them with organic, whole foods. Swap the box cereal for pasture-raised eggs, or trade that afternoon soda for a sparkling water. That is literally the single biggest 80-20 nutritional win you can make. Modern food is mass-produced, chemically altered, and engineered by scientists to be hyper-palatable. That means it actively tricks your brain into overeating. By simply cutting out the boxed, canned, and processed stuff that fills the middle aisles of the grocery store, your hunger will naturally begin to regulate itself. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what our daily targets should be to make this actionable. First up, shoot for about 800 grams of vegetables daily. That's roughly 2 large, robust salads, and it gives you the crucial fiber and micronutrients your body desperately needs. Second, prioritize your protein. Aim for roughly 1 gram per pound of your body weight every single day to maintain your vital muscle mass, and try to break that up across 3 or 4 meals. Finally, supplement intelligently, but only when necessary. If you're hitting your whole food targets, you might just need a little vitamin D3 with K2, some magnesium or omega-3s completely based on your specific lab results. Those nutritional targets naturally lead us right into our third pillar, mastering your glucose curve. Managing the metabolic spikes in your bloodstream is an absolute game changer. And the optimal eating order to do this is super simple. Number 1, vegetables for the fiber. Number 2, proteins and fats. And number 3, carbohydrates go last. Eating your food in this exact sequence is a highly actionable biohack. The fiber from the vegetables actively slows down your digestive tract. This then drastically slows the release of glucose from the carbohydrates you eat at the end of the meal, which keeps your energy totally steady. Which brings us to a very practical, real-world rule. Skip the bread basket. Have you ever stopped to wonder why restaurants immediately drop a basket of bread or a bowl of chips on your table the moment you sit down? Eating fast carbs first on an empty stomach causes a massive, immediate spike in your glucose levels. It sets you on a blood sugar roller coaster that leaves you artificially hungry and totally fatigued later on. A smart health CEO politely declines the free chips and asks for a vegetable starter instead. Now, beyond what we eat, we absolutely have to protect our physical machinery. That brings us to section 4, movement and muscle mass. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this single staggering number, 10%. Research actually shows that for every 10% of additional time you spend sitting over your baseline, your all-cause mortality literally increases by 10%. It is a direct, linear relationship. Sitting at a desk for 8 straight hours without breaking it up is silently degrading your body's systems.
But look, we're all busy professionals, so what is the practical 80-20 fix here? Enter the 45-minute exercise snack. Just set a simple egg timer or an alarm on your phone. Every 45 minutes, stand up and walk around for just 10 minutes. This simple act completely breaks the sedentary cycle. Use a standing desk or a walking pad if you can, and hey, try scheduling 25-minute or 55-minute meetings instead of full hours to automatically build in a walking buffer. This is a high-yield solution to literally save your life while still getting all your work done.
Furthermore, movement isn't just about getting your daily steps in. You must track your skeletal muscle mass using a bioimpedance scale, like an in-body scale. Muscle breakdown is the very root of physical frailty as we age. Protecting and building your muscle with strength training and adequate protein isn't just some hobby for bodybuilders. It is absolutely critical for long-term survival, physical stability, and maintaining a healthy metabolism so you don't end up falling and breaking a bone later in life. All of these daily habits culminate in our final agenda item. Step 5, your vital health dashboard.
Think about it. A real executive manages a business by looking at exact KPIs. Well, your health is no different. Your dashboard needs to include hemoglobin A1C. This tracks your 3-month glucose average and warns you of your diabetes risk. Next is skeletal muscle mass, which tracks your strength and frailty risk. Then we have HSCRP, or highly sensitive C-reactive protein. This tracks dangerous hidden inflammation in your body, which often originates right in your gut. And finally, ApoB and LPA. These are advanced genetic and structural markers for heart health that give you a much clearer picture of your arteries than standard old-school cholesterol tests ever could.
Let's move to and see how this builds over time, because the real danger lies in creeping metrics. Imagine in year 1, your A1C might be at a perfectly healthy 4.7, but by year 3, it creeps to 5.2. By year 5, it hits 5.7, and suddenly you're officially classified as pre-diabetic. The traditional medical system won't flag this for you in year 2 or 3 because you technically aren't sick yet. They wait for the red zone, but a proactive CEO sees the trend line creeping up and intervenes early, preventing the biological crisis from ever happening. To successfully pull this off, you absolutely must establish a strict weekly and monthly KPI tracking schedule. Step on your smart scale weekly to check your skeletal muscle and body fat percentages. Then, schedule regular quarterly or biannual lab work to review those internal blood markers we just discussed. You know the saying, you cannot manage what you do not measure. Make it a non-negotiable routine in your calendar.
So the crucial point is captured perfectly by Dr. Darshan Shah. Looking at those numbers 20 to 30 years ahead of becoming sick is the key to becoming CEO of your own health. When you spot a minor dip in vitamin D or a slow creeping rise in your glucose levels in your 30s or 40s, and you correct it immediately, you are literally erasing future diseases from your timeline.
We've covered a massive amounts of incredibly actionable ground in this explainer today, and I want to leave you with one final provocative thought. As Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson says, it's either one day or day one. So what will your first health CEO action be? Are you going to go into the kitchen right now and clear out the ultra-processed food from your pantry? Are you going to finally buy a smart scale? Or are you going to call your doctor to book a blood test to check your ApoB and A1C? Stop waiting for an emergency to happen. Step into the corner office of your health and start optimizing today.